right, Helaine, we just got today's version of TOD Live open. We just got the session open here in the Zoom room. We're going to be adding in the TikTok crowd here in just a bit after we go through a market overview. But another, busy, action-packed day in the market. Super excited to be sitting down here with you to go over today.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here too, Blaine.
Yeah, absolutely. So, definitely a bit of a red day in the markets. So, it's good that we're here. We can break it all down and tell you exactly what we think is probably driving a lot of the price action today. So with that, let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can just hop right in to what we're seeing here today. And Helaine, like I said, we're pretty big wash day here on the market. The internals don't look that bad. If you look at, an equally weighted index or, kind of a, advanced decline type line, it's not as ugly as the indexes look. And so what that's telling me is obviously the selling is very concentrated in the more heavily weighted areas of market, namely tech. We're still seeing a lot of rotation out of the tech sector, out of some of those high-flying names that have really driven a lot of the performance this year, seeing that redeployed to other pockets of the market. I mean, you're seeing, healthcare reacting really good today. You're seeing energy reacting really well today. But overall, the S&P's down a percent. It's been a little over a percent at the lows of today. Obviously, NASDAQ's down a bit more. The Dow's holding up pretty well because, obviously a lot less exposure to, kind of Mag 7 type, tech names in there. It's, a little more well diversified out and it's waiting. But, still, up on the week today, you can see that, look at the chart of the S&P 500 here. We're still, up fairly nicely on the week. Not a huge move, at current levels, but, still nice to see that bounce back week still intact. So we'll see how things finish for the week. But overall, it's certainly a big down day. Still seeing kind of a risk off day today in the markets, but nothing that concerns me too much. There's certainly no breakdown of the trend yet.
Totally agree, Blaine. I think if anything, we're just seeing more of these momentum names selling off, like we've been seeing and we've been noting. But as you said, nothing concerning broadly at this point.
Exactly right. Yeah, and I think kind of what's driving it, Helaine, just to go ahead and talk about kind of what some of the factors are that are affecting it. Obviously, we noted that the government shutdown, once that got resolved, that was going to be a positive for the market. Of course, that got resolved last night, which it is a good thing. It's nice to remove that uncertainty, get folks back to work. Get some of that data coming back out. But, there's kind of a catch with that as well, that we haven't gotten so much of this data, you name it, inflation, labor market data, things that really are important to, the stock market and move stock prices. We haven't gotten it for some time. So there's a lot of murkiness, a lot of cloudiness kind of out there as to what's actually been going on for the last month and a half. We just haven't gotten the data. There's been some private sources, but it's not, it's not the best quality data. And so, I think the market's a little anxious. It's, got some pent up anxiety around that now if that's going to start coming back out because, all that's used to kind of try and, project what the Fed's going to do, what they're going to do with rate cuts, because that's been a huge story this year is the rate cut narrative, pricing in a lot of, rate cuts in upcoming meetings. Of course, we've got cuts at the last two meetings, but what we're looking at right here, folks, is the CME Group's Fed Watch tool. This just kind of shows you the current probabilities that the market's pricing in of whether the Fed's going to cut rates at upcoming meetings or not. And you can see that right now, so this is the current range we're in right here, and this is the other probability that's being factored in is actually having a cut at the upcoming meeting, currently standing at 49.6%. That obviously has been a substantial change, Helaine, over where we've been sitting recently. Just 1 week ago, it was about a 70% chance that the market, probability that the market was pricing in of a rate cut. And, if you just look back down here, it just kind of shows you some of the historical probabilities. Looking back a month ago from now, just 1 month ago, we were pricing in nearly a 100% probability. It was sitting at almost 96% that the market and, Fed futures markets were pricing in that the Fed was going to cut rates. Now that's dropped all the way down to less than half. It's really standing kind of at a 50-50 right now. So that's been a huge change in market expectations. We had, some of the, move higher had been because we were pricing in that Fed rate cut. Now a little bit that's coming out of the market. So, that's coupled with a lot of hawkish speak from Fed officials lately. So, between that, obviously we have NVIDIA earnings coming up next week, certainly something to be watching out for. But, just look at share price of NVIDIA and a lot of the AI complex today. And, you see a lot of selling pressure on those. I think those two things kind of have a little, anxiety, building for traders out there. So I think we're just seeing some of that risk off, some, more rotation because of those things right there.
Yep, Blaine, I couldn't agree more. As you said, the market's just digesting the changes, and it's going to take a minute, and we've been due for a pullback, a little breather, and that's what we're getting.
Yep, yeah. So we're in this bit of period of choppiness right now. Again, still we're still overall solid trend here. We haven't broken down
Mhm.
to new lower lows. The trend lines are still intact. Again, I think we mentioned the other day too, Helaine. Last Friday we traded down to the 50-day moving average. First time we touched that since earlier this year, back in late April, early May. We may not be out of the woods in testing that yet. We probably are going to go down and retest it. We had a successful test on Friday. So that's something we're watching out for, to see, continue to see that trend line and support level hold up for the market. So we might be in for another, retest of that, heading into those NVIDIA earnings next week and, heading into the upcoming Fed meeting. But that's kind of where we see things. The trend's still intact, just in a bit of a digestion period, kind of trying to sort through some of these things that are, causing some questions for the market right now.
Yep, couldn't agree more, Blaine.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Helene, I think we can probably go ahead and hop over into our trade setups for
Yeah,
today, just to go
go for
ahead
it.
and talk about where we're spotting some opportunities. So where I am looking at right now, so this is for ITB. This is, you probably are familiar with this ETF right here. This is the iShares US Home Construction ETF. So you're probably familiar with this big home builder ETF out there. It's one of the more commonly known ones. But Helene, this plays right along with that, idea of the market really resetting expectations for
Mhm.
what the Fed's going to do. Obviously, when you have a really dovish rate cut environment, really dovish Fed, falling rates, that historically has always been a really big tailwind for the home building sector. Of course, it makes sense. Lower rates, more people are looking to buy homes, right? Rates go up, people pull back from buying. It just pretty
Mhm.
simple story there. It's really easy to grasp. But of course, you had this huge run up in ITB earlier this year when the market was getting really bullish about how many Fed rate cuts were going to happen. Of course, we've got several of them, but with some of the data coming in, the economy still seeming to hold up okay, even though we're clearly seeing some slowing. The Fed's kind of tapped the brakes now a little bit, seemingly on what they're going to do with rate cuts at the next, over the next, call it 3 to 6 months. So that's put a lot of pressure on the home building sector. You can see that here in the price action, really dating back to early September right there. This has had a very clear trend reversal. It's making a very clearly defined on the chart series of lower lows and lower highs. It's pretty still well off of its 52-week lows, but on the trend it's going right now, it looks like it could possibly get there in the next couple of months. It's kind of taking a nosedive, just really consistent trading lower. You see that indicated by our trend lines here. Our 21-day EMA is down below our 63-day now. We're just, again, consistently hitting that, multi-month series of lower lows and lower highs, just grinding lower, just kind of a classic lower trend going on there. Again, it's confirmed down here too by our downward sloping OBV line. It's confirming a lot of selling pressure on that stock. And, today's price is, Helaine, it's, trading currently about 99 bucks per share. That's signaling, since it's, above that lower Keltner channel right there, that's signaling that ITB is not oversold at these current technical levels. So,
Yep.
with all that in mind, I thought a great way to play this one actually would be from the bearish side. Go ahead and play it with a put option, or just go ahead and looking to buy a put option on this one.
I like it.
So I landed on the December 19th expiration date here, and specifically the 106 strike call. So you can see that's or not the call, sorry, the put. To clarify, 106 strike put. Been in a bull market. We've been talking about calls so much lately, it's just almost automatic to me. 106 strike put. Sorry about that. Just wanted to clarify. So
Good, Blaine.
looking to buy the 106 strike put right there. You can see it's just a touch below 800 bucks to put that one on. So just to show you on the chart where that is, that's right here. So it's a little bit above our upper channel, pretty sufficiently in the money put right here. Not too expensive, not a ton of time value on this one. So, also, it's a little ways out. So it gives some time for this trade to work out too. So I'm actually going to go and place this one right here. I really like this trade setup. The market's super bearish on the housing sector and industry right now. Clearly showing up in the chart. So I'm going to go ahead and place that. I think I'll probably be able to get filled pretty close to that midpoint right there at 7.9. See, I just got filled just right there. So that was my trade setup for today, Helene.
I like it. I like the play, Blaine. Yeah, clear bearish decline there, as you said, and an obvious choice for a put option purchase. So I like it. It's been a minute since we've been looking bearish, but I'm into it.
Yeah. I mean, I think maybe not on Tuesday, but I think it was last Thursday. Maybe we
Yeah.
actually looked at several bearish positions. I know I put out that put option debit spread trade for Costco. That's continued to kind of grind lower as well. That's obviously
Hmm.
under a ton of pressure. So that trade's still doing quite well. Still really liking how that one's setting up. But found another great bearish opportunity here. Typically we don't like to try and fight the trend, but sometimes even in the context of a much, kind of secular bull market, there's still things out there, that are in very clearly defined bearish trends and bear markets, and that's exactly what we're seeing in certain sectors, certainly areas like housing that just have a lot of headwinds that they're dealing with right now.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to jump into my trade now. My trade is for McKesson, which is a pharmaceutical
All
company.
right, love
And
it.
opposite of yours, because mine is a bullish play, as you can see. My trade is currently is on a confirmed buy signal, trading above my favorite moving averages. To confirm that buy signal, including the 35-day EMA, the 50-day moving average, and the 200-day moving average. As you can see, it had a prolonged consolidation period from about April until August. In August, it really had a bottoming out, which you can see with there's a deep red bar, and then it started to from there find its footing and really start to trade higher. From there, putting in those series of higher highs and higher lows. And then the momentum really started for them late September. And since then, they've been off to the races. I mean, they are just really on quite a strong momentum run. Now, recently, in the last week, they've had a pullback off of that upper Keltner channel into the closer to the middle of the Keltner channels. And what I really liked was today's movement. You can see that it opened almost at the lows and has been current trading is near
Mhm.
the highs. So a nice big up day for that stock. And that's going to tell me that we are resuming that previous bullish trend. So I'm looking to play this with a call option debit spread because this stock is an $846 stock. I mean, to buy a directional call option for this that meets our criteria would be very expensive. So a lower cost play, I'm doing December 19th, the 780, 790 strike spread. When I looked at this earlier, it was right around 8 points. I'd go ahead, I'd set my limit order for 8 points, or if I couldn't get filled at eight, I'd do 810, and see if I can go ahead and get filled with that. It did jump up to 835. It has a wide bid ask, so it's worth trying to get in at a lower price. But ideally, eight and lower gives me a 25% profit potential on my position. So that is the trade that I'm looking at to take today. That's my favorite one for the day.
Yeah, Helaine, I really like that trade setup for McKesson. Obviously, we identified, a couple weeks ago, that this cohort in the market, whether it's MCK or some of the companies that are some of their competitors, COR, CAH, companies like that, they've really been some of the major leaders in healthcare of late. And of course, again, we talked about it earlier, seeing a ton of rotation still playing out in this market. We're starting to see some of that risk off move, in the high momentum names in the market, some of the obviously some of the major tech sector players, whether it's chips or, big, hyperscalers, whatever it may be, seeing a lot of that risk off, a lot of rotation out of those areas. And, that money's finding a new home somewhere. It's getting redeployed somewhere else in the market. And healthcare has been one of it's like a big vacuum. It's just sucking up all of that liquidity is coming out of other areas. That's where a lot of that's being rotated into. And McKesson clearly has been a major winner, major beneficiary of that. So I love the trade setup. Obviously, the market's super bullish on it. You can see that in the chart right there. I mean, you see that consolidation kind of, just building a base period right there once it, was trading up through March and April, traded sideways for a bit, and it's just taken off in the last couple of months, and looks like it's just continuing to do that. So I love the trade line.
I appreciate it, Blane. I appreciate it. And hey, guys, I see you guys already knowing just about what time it is. I see you
Yeah.
commenting the stocks you want us to take a look at. I appreciate it. As you know, at this point, we've gone over our market overview. We've gone over our top option trades. Now we're going to jump in to your top picks and the stocks that you want us to take a look at and analyze. As a reminder, we are technical traders, we're momentum traders, we're trend followers. So we're looking at all of these stocks through that lens, through a momentum trader swing trader lens. So keep that in mind. But go ahead, put those stocks into the comments that you want us to analyze and take a look at, and we'll jump into them. Okay, Blane, let's see.
All right. Yep. But it's got live here on TikTok too. So we're welcoming in the TikTok crowd. Super excited to have everybody here live on with us. So yeah, I see all the comments coming in on TikTok. I see everybody commenting on Zoom as well. So love to see all that. So we're gonna start hopping in some of these tickers. So yeah, again, Helaine, you want to go ahead and start jumping into some of these?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Give me a second here. And guys, if the volume is good, you can let us know in the comments as well. Just want to make sure we're all good there. But yeah, let's go ahead. I think the first one up I actually saw was in our Zoom room. And it was from Holland. Hey, Holland, thank you so much for joining. Holland's one of our regulars.
Yeah, Holland, welcome in. Glad to have you here.
He asked, he asked about DD and Amazon, and also Davu. He said, "What's up? What's up? How y'all doing?"
How's it going, Davu? Welcome in. Welcome
Well,
in.
he's also one of our regulars, so love that, guys. And then FTW, we'll jump into yours next for Regeneron. So let's
Yes.
first up, DD. And guys, if you're just
DuPont here.
ahead, put those stock symbols into the comments. Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
yeah, DuPont commonly, big specialty chemical company here, commonly known for making dynamite back in the day. Charts explosive too, just booming higher. Great looking setup here. Stocks ripped up to new 52-week highs. This obviously this is a place that's benefiting from a lot of market rotation. Materials been a massive underperformer this year.
Mhm.
Really haven't done much of anything to speak of. Really, until a couple weeks ago, this stock may have not even been up 1% or so on the year. Really hadn't done anything. Look what it's done in the last week. It's just vacuuming in all of that rotation from other pockets of the market. Obviously, pretty overbought right now at current levels, but man, the trend is starting to shape up pretty nicely for this one.
Oh yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, the chart's obviously great, but I will say, as you know, looking at those technicals, it's currently overbought. So in terms of looking for an entry today, I'd be staying away because it is overbought at this point. I would wait for a pullback back into the Keltner channels for a better entry opportunity.
Yeah, I
But
couldn't agree more. Was it Amazon too, Helaine, we're supposed
it
to
was,
look at?
yep, it was also Amazon from
All
Holland. Thank
right.
you.
And yeah,
Um,
just to remind everybody, of course, everything we're talking about today, obviously, this is all, only for educational purposes only. Please
of
don't,
course.
nothing should be interpreted, excuse me, as official investment advice here. And of course, obviously, everything in trading in the market involves substantial risk as well. So I always like to note that. But just wanted to note that before we go ahead and hop into our next one here. Helaine, what are you seeing for
If
Amazon right here?
if you're jumping into the room, go ahead, comment your favorite stock or ticker that you want us to analyze. We're breaking down your picks here live right now. So first up, we're looking at Amazon, as you said, Blane. And this one's interesting. Okay, Mag 7, I feel like broadly have underperformed this year. And Amazon's one of those. It was really in this consolidation pattern when we were seeing so much of the market breaking out in that August, September time zone. You know, it was really choppy. It was all over the place. But what was it, earnings? They had that nice breakout.
They had a huge gap up after earnings, and I was actually a couple days ago. I was feeling a lot better about this one. The
Same.
action of the last 2 days is starting to concern me a little bit.
Yeah.
It had that big gap up. It seemed like it was getting some confirmation, because it was
Mhm.
hanging right in there. It seemed like it wanted to start trading higher, to begin the week. Monday, Tuesday looked pretty good, but yesterday's session, today, near the lows of the day, we're back down in that gap. I don't ever like to see after stock gaps up. If it gets back down in that gap shortly thereafter, gaps typically get filled, and it looks like that is what is about to happen here. We might be going back down to revisit the 232, 230 level pretty soon here for Amazon.
I couldn't agree more, Blaine. It definitely is looking bearish right now in the short term. John said on the chart, it's hard to see the name of the stock. John, I went ahead and added in the company emblem on the upper left. Hopefully that helps you out with seeing it. Next up was from FTW, and he's asking about Regeneron, and he's saying, is this a bullish trend and for how long?
There
So
we
our
go. It's funny you mentioned this one, FTW. Yeah, we
Ooh,
actually were on TikTok yesterday. So we didn't have a TOD live session yesterday, but we went live on TikTok. And this was actually the stock that I highlighted yesterday. I noticed this one I'm a huge fan of this trend right now. Of course, it's up 4%, something like that today. Super overbought in the
Yeah.
short term. Of course, right now, if we had my RSI chart pulled up, it'd probably be just a nosebleed red hot reading. But
Yeah.
this one, it was in a super long bearish decline to begin the year, coming out of last year. Found a base, starting in May through June. It really kind of found a very clear, defined technical bottom there. Started building that base further, and has now slowly started to gradually trade higher. It's really accelerated in the last couple months. This is in the biotech area. Obviously, it's been a big outperformer lately. But again, it's being a huge beneficiary of a lot of this rotation. This again, it's overbought right now, but I think this looks like a very, very powerful trend
Mhm.
in the pretty early innings right here.
Yeah, Blaine, I couldn't agree more with you. Clearly, great trend on the upswing, on a bullish breakout. Right now, though, for an entry overheated, I'd wait for a pullback personally. Uh,
Yep.
Great pick. And also, Blaine, you mentioned RSI wise. RSI wise, it's probably overheated. You're right. Looking at the 14-day RSI, it's at 77. So absolutely red
That's a
hot.
hot reading for a 14-day RSI. Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure if I like to look at the 5-day too as well. I'm sure the 5 day is probably getting pretty close to 90.
I'm
And as we've learned in the past, if an RSI reading gets close to 90, does not stay around there very long. So even though I think this is due for probably a nice extended move higher from here, if I were looking to enter a trade for this one, I'd probably wait a day or two because I think we're probably due to get a better entry point here in the next week.
Couldn't agree more. And guys, if you just joined, we're talking about Regeneron right now. You should be able to see that on my screen. We're looking at REGN and also that red line on my chart. It's the 200-day moving average. It's the EMA that I like to use to confirm the long-term trend of a stock because I'm looking for stocks that are on long and short-term bullish trends. And also, yes, we are not bots. We are
Yeah.
live with you
We
guys.
are not bots. We are real people.
I can promise you. Yeah, we're
Yeah. Bots don't drink coffee.
yeah, exactly. Okay, guys, and are you guys trading stocks or options? So we trade both stocks and options. We're primarily focused on option trades. So typically, Blaine and I both work in financial education, financial publishing. And so, although we do stock trading, the majority of our work is in option trading.
Yeah.
So, feel free if you have any questions, you are always welcome to go ahead and ask questions about options as well as
Yeah,
stock.
absolutely. We'd love that.
Yeah.
Helene, I think we have a lot of comments coming in here, so we might want to go hop into our next stock pick or stock ticker here.
Absolutely. And guys, if you're just joining, go ahead and put your favorite stock pick into the chat. We're going to break down your trades now.
I
I
see
think,
Devu put Bros in there. I think we haven't
oh,
touched
yeah,
on Dutch Bros yet.
you're right, bros. Okay. Ooh, ow. Okay.
Wow, man, this one's under pressure too. Like this whole space, Helene, I feel like is just in a really, really tough spot right now.
I,
Obviously Dutch Bros is a little bit unique from some of the other fast casual, fast food type places, coffee drive-through primarily.
mhm.
Looks like this one's having a tough time. It's a lot of noise on the chart, but looks like it's trying to keep trending lower from here. But I don't know. It's kind of hard to make heads or tails of this one.
I personally would be staying away right now. One bullish sign is that it did bounce off of that support right around 47.
Yep.
Um, that was from a low back in April. So that is slightly bullish, but I can't tell either way, bullish or bearish right now. I would just need more trading to confirm the trend
Right.
personally.
Yeah. It looks like in a pretty long term, pretty wide range consolidation period, digestion period right now. So,
Exactly.
if it gets down to that $48 range again and breaks through it, then that's probably a pretty big sign of trouble. But if that holds, it could be, like you said, it could be another, positive bullish note. So have to
Ex-
keep an eye on that one.
Next up is Mr. Nacho 2 asked about CLS.
CLS. Okay. I'm
Ooh,
anticipating this one's I figured this one might be taking it on the chin today. I heard I was watching CNBC earlier, and they said that the ABC trade is on anything but chips. So related to the whole AI complex, chips, semiconductors.
yeah.
Obviously, that's a big part of this one. It's not a semiconductor company, but they are helping to manufacture certain things within, the data center build out. And so obviously highly connected to that trade. You can see it's down almost 13% on the day. It's near the lows of the day. That's a blow up. I mean, it took out the low, the recent higher low from a couple days ago. Had that big gap. It wasn't really a gap, but it just had an extended move up. In late to mid October, it's pretty much erased that entire move in today's trading. So, I'd be very cautious on this one. What do you think, Helaine?
Agreed. It's been on a great run. Huge bearish move today. I'm staying away until there's more movement in either direction because right now it's short-term bearish, personally. Okay,
Yep.
next up, Lane, let's speed it up a little bit.
Let's do it.
The VU asked about ANET.
ANET. Okay, interesting. Yeah, same type of deal here.
Yeah, great run up, big move down recently. I'd be staying away. It looks like it took out recent support, just in a bearish decline right now, and I'm not touching it.
Yeah, yeah. One positive here is that after the kind of washout after earnings, after that big sell-off, it has seemingly tried to, gain its footing. It doesn't seem to want to trade below that, 132 line right there. So
Mm.
we're right back at it again. We could break down below it, today, which would be, bearish. It would signal there's probably some more downside ahead. But it looks like it's trying to find some support at that level. So that's really key. There's some support on the chart looking back, several months at that level. So it'd be key to see that hold. But right now, it's kind of like it's kind of on the verge. So have to be watching that one.
Totally agree. Jason said falling knife. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Anything that's falling like that, just have
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I'd be very cautious staying away on that one right now.
And guys, if you're just joining, first of all, thank you so much for joining us today. Go ahead, comment your favorite stock. We're breaking down your picks today. So go ahead and do that and give us a like, give us a follow. We are here to break down your picks. I think the next one I saw was TSLL.
TSLL. I'm not familiar with that one. Let's see. Oh, that's a leverage ETF. It's a Tesla Bull ETF. So,
Oh,
oh
boy.
man. So Tesla must be down pretty substantially today. Wow, this is down
Pull up Tesla
almost
instead,
14%.
just to take a look there. Okay, so Tesla,
Yeah.
been bullish on Tesla for a bit,
Wow.
and ouch, this move today, painful, absolutely. I wouldn't be touching this one right now because it is just clearly declining,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
with no bottom in sight. I mean, gosh, after that gap up, it looks like it's trying to gap right back down. So
Exactly. Yeah, it's pretty much round trip that entire move over the past couple months. Looks like a pretty clear trend reversal, in the making right here for Tesla. Tough looking chart on that one.
couldn't agree more. Next up, Diana. Diana asked about SoFi. Okay,
SoFi, one of our
keep
frequent
throwing your
flyers
stuff.
here. Woo!
Okay, even though
Big
it was
move
a
for
big
SoFi.
move today, it's still a constructive trend. I mean, the
Yeah,
stock's still on a buy signal. It's still making that series of higher highs and higher lows. I mean, it is a gross move today, though. Any candle like that gives me pause. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. I mean, anytime you see a 10% shaved off in a day, that should catch
Ouch.
your attention. But
Yeah.
like you said, the trend hasn't broken down. It's only pulled back to the middle Keltner channel essentially. We got a new all-time high close on SoFi yesterday. So before I personally, if I was looking to enter a position on SoFi, I would like to see some resumption of that uptrend, get a positive day or two, showing it starting to move higher. So
Mhm.
given that it's down near the lows of the day and down 10% today, that should warrant some caution in my book. So that's how I would treat this one. But
Totally.
overall, I mean, the trend is still firmly intact. So
Yep.
it's just a volatile stock. Just look at the past month of trading days. It has a wide range on almost every single bar. So
Exactly. And I will say I still own a call option on SoFi. Today's movement, unfortunate. But I still believe in the overall trend of SoFi, so I'm gonna hold on to it. I think my option doesn't expire for a couple weeks still, so I'm gonna keep holding on because I still am bullish on SoFi. If I saw further breakdown from here, then I would look to exit the position. Or
yeah,
if I had like a 35% loss in the position, I'd go ahead and do my mental stop loss and get out of there.
sure thing. Yeah, just high beta stocks acting like high beta stocks. Well, we
Hey,
have a great question in the Zoom for you. Actually, it's about a trade you mentioned several weeks ago. It's for
oh,
RKLB. You put in
I,
a call option spread on that one. And Dell is actually asking you to just kind of give an update on that trade, see how it's going. I know RKLB obviously in the momentum
yeah.
complex, a lot of selling pressure. What are you thinking about this in here, Elaine?
So RKLB, since my entry, the trend completely broke down. Not only that, but it took out my strike that I sold. So I did the 45 and 50 strike call option debit spread for RKLB. It gave me what I thought was a tremendous amount of downside. I mean, and relatively speaking, it was a tremendous amount of downside. I mean, I think the stock was trading at 65 and I sold the 50. Yeah. So it was percentage wise quite a bit, but the stock completely broke down with a number of the other big momentum names like RKLB. And so I got stopped out of my trade. I like to exit between a 25 and 35% loss on a spread in order to limit my losses. So I went ahead, exited out of this one, and I'm not looking to re-enter a new position for RKLB anytime soon until there would be a clear resumption of the bull trend. I'm just not bullish on RKLB. If you think now is a good time to enter there, let me know in the comments. Definitely throw it in there. But
Yeah, we'd love to hear your opinion. Yeah, I agree with you, Helaine. I think this one is still headed lower.
yeah.
A little oversold at today's readings, but yeah, no, I think that one's as we've been saying lately, look out below on a lot of these momentum stocks. Just they've completely lost support in the market, tons of selling pressure, narratives changed. So
Next up, we have number and colors achu. Ask about QUBT. Oh my goodness,
yeah,
this
these are getting. I actually looked at this whole group of stocks earlier too. So yeah, quantum,
land.
yeah,
Land.
QUBT, all of the quantum stocks. The chart looks exactly the same today, all down about 10%, making new short-term lower lows. Multi-month lower lows.
And
Tons of
falling.
selling.
These are going straight down. I'm not
Yeah.
touching this. They are, I mean, unless I'm going bearish, as Blane said, Blane and I were talking, should we be going bearish on these momentum darlings? Like they're all selling off.
Yeah. I think that's a really interesting idea is, to, start pivoting and going bearish on these.
Mm-hmm.
But, here's the thing is they've gone down. If you look at the last month, there's only about 3 positive trading days in there. So they've just been down so much. So they've gotten a little oversold in the short term, but I think
Yeah,
these are going to continue moving lower.
totally.
Very clear trend reversal here. But, for a bearish position, probably, at least on this one, looking at QUBT, probably get a little bit more favorable entry for a bearish position, in the
Exactly.
next several days.
Currently oversold. You would want to see a pop higher towards that middle Keltner channels, or at least just above the lower Keltner channels, so it's not oversold for an entry into a bearish position. But this whole sector, I'm not touching right now. They are gross. If you think differently, if you think right now is a nice time to enter, go ahead and let me know.
Yeah, I
And
mean, pull up any of the quantum stocks though. I mean, they all have the exact same chart. I mean, here's Rigetti, here's IonQ. I mean, the whole it's that whole momentum basket we've been talking about, Helene. Whether it's the quantum stocks, anything nuclear related. There's a lot of companies that just have AI in the name, but maybe aren't driving a whole lot of revenue. Aren't profitable. Anything in that kind of high flying momentum basket that doesn't necessarily have the fundamentals quite there yet, that it's more of a speculative type stock, their charts all look the same. The market is, taking a very decisive turn. It's gotten a lot more discerning really quickly on a lot of these companies. So you're just seeing a lot of that air come out of the balloon in these.
okay, next up, it's just me, nobody. I apologize. We have been going in order of everyone's picks. You're up now, EOSE and MSTR. So
MSTR. Which one are we
EOSE,
looking at first, Helaine?
EOSE,
EOSE. Okay.
EO Energy.
Oh,
Interesting. So this one is still on a buy signal, on a bull trend. The trend hasn't completely broken down yet, but I mean, the swings that we're seeing are insane.
yeah.
And in terms of an entry, I personally would be staying away right now. As I said, I'm not completely bearish on it, but I would need to see some upward movement from here before confirming the resumption of the bull trend on this stock. But it's been such a high flyer. This is the type of stock that we're seeing a lot of that money just drain out of. So I would be really cautious.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. Yeah. I mean, you just look at the past month performance. It's flat essentially.
Yeah.
So, a ton of noise on the chart. It's been trading all over the place the past month.
Mm-hmm.
Looks
Yep.
like it could be getting ready to challenge those recent lows from late October earlier this month. So, yeah, I'd be very cautious on that one.
Next up is MSTR, and we've talked about this one. I think every day we talk about this one. And
Yep.
This is another clear bearish decline. I would be going bearish on this one. I'd wait for them to pop back into the counter channels because they're on a confirmed bear trend. They're trading below a number of key moving averages, meaning they're on a sell signal, meaning that they look to be going to trade further down from here. I'd probably do a put option spread on MSTR.
Yep, exactly. That's how I'd look to trade this one too here, Helaine. Obviously, strategy, formerly MicroStrategy, it's more of a leveraged play on Bitcoin because the company owns so many Bitcoin. That's really kind of the whole narrative behind this company. People don't even pay attention to their business, like what they actually do by and large. It's how much Bitcoin they own. And of course, if you follow crypto markets, you've seen crypto's been under a lot of pressure. Bitcoin's been trading lower consistently for the past month, pretty big risk off move in the crypto markets. It kind of front ran some of the volatility we're seeing in the stock markets and equity markets. And given that this is a leveraged play on Bitcoin, given it's that's how they trade, they own a lot of Bitcoin. You're seeing an even more pronounced downtrend here. Until you see a reversal in the price of Bitcoin, this one's going to keep trading lower.
Couldn't agree more. Next up, Drastic is asking for a PEP.
PEP, Pepsi.
So, okay. Okay, so this one's been chopping around. There's no clear trend right now. Clearly, it's found some footing around that like 138 zone. But they're kind of chopping around the place right now. I'm trying to even think if a softening, if the softening economy would help it. I don't know. I would
Yeah, I
probably.
mean, it's tough. I mean, if you look at the staple sector, they're obviously gotten some nice performance in the past couple days, but I mean, it was a sector, the whole sector speaking. If you pull up the XLP, it's clearly in a bear market. It's been under a ton of pressure. There's a couple plays in the staple sector that do look okay, but by and large, the sector's been under a lot of pressure. I mean, it's encouraging for Pepsi to get back to the stock. It found a bottom. Back in late May, early June, it's been trading up off there. It's still, up over the past, 5, 6 months. But it seems like it's trying to kind of figure out where it's going from here. It made that bottom, but if you look back to beginning of the year, it's almost exactly flat on the year. So it really hasn't gone anywhere. That could be the bottom, back in June, and it could, try and get constructive from here. But as far as a swing trading perspective, yeah, the trend's pretty undecipherable. It's been trading all over the place. I'd probably find other opportunities.
And hey guys, if you're just joining into the room right now, welcome in. We are going over your stock picks right now. So go ahead, comment your favorite ticker. Also, if you're enjoying what we're doing, give us a like, give us a follow. We try to be here live as much as we can Monday through Friday during those market hours here with you guys. And it looks like I accidentally skipped somebody. I apologize. Pan John F. I thought that you were just talking about AI, but it turns out that you were talking about the stock symbol AI. I apologize.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, C3 AI. So this Helaine right here, this is kind of exactly what we were talking about earlier. Some of these high flying momentum stocks. This one really never even participated in the upside this year. This one's been trading down all year long in just a crazy AI bull market. And this company has AI in its name and hasn't even participated. So that's definitely a little worrisome there. I want to say there was maybe some news the other day that this company was pursuing getting acquired, and maybe the CEO was looking to step down, something like that. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that, but I think I heard that. Just looking at the charts, though, very bearish.
Very bearish. I would go bearish on them. I'd wait for a pop back up, and then I'd probably buy a put option purchase on them.
Yep.
Okay, next up, guys, I'm going back in the comments because you guys are throwing so many at us. We love this. Thank you so much. Okay, let's see. Davu asked about UNH. He asked about a specific call option that we can't really, give specific advice on a specific call option purchase, but we can give our thoughts on the overall trend of UNH. This is one that's come up a lot in the last couple of weeks. It's a fan favorite. And I will say, okay, clearly they've been trying to find a bullish breakout and resume a bullish trend here. We saw that sell off into November, and it looks like they are testing to see if they're going to bottom out right there and trade above that upper counter channel. But right now, what I'm seeing is that they're bouncing down off the middle channel. a lower trading day from here would tell me the resumption of the bearish trend is occurring, but further trading above that middle of counter channel would tell me that we might be starting to see the trend change and it turn bullish again. So right now, it's no clear trend to me. Blane, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously, well off of those lows from, midsummer and, late July. So it's been having a nice performance over the past couple months, but, it's a
Hmm.
little more murky on the
Yeah,
horizon now. With the action of the past couple weeks, it's sold off pretty good. It looks like we could be in for a trend reversal here and start moving back down lower. So, I would say I'm pretty neutral on this one right now, according to the technicals. It's kind of hard to make heads or tails.
totally agree. Okay, going back. I think we're gonna have to kick it up a notch because we're falling behind. I apologize, guys. Next up is SOXL, and that's from Hambin.
Sold. So here we got our three times leveraged
Oh,
semiconductor ETF.
oh,
Obviously, the chips, all the semiconductors, they're getting smoked today.
yeah.
They've been getting a lot of pressure. A lot of the rotation has been coming out of this area of the market. So yeah, you can see this one's a lot of pressure on it. The trend is not completely broken down, but it doesn't look super bullish right now.
Exactly. I wouldn't be entering today. Personally, as Blaine said, the trend hasn't completely broken down, but I mean, the last couple weeks have been pretty bearish. So I would wait, go ahead and see a resumption of that bull trend higher. And if I saw the resumption, then I would go ahead and enter into a bullish position for them.
Yeah, but also too, I'll add this, Helaine. From the April lows, obviously, the market was under a lot of pressure then. This thing was trading down around $8 a share. It's now all the way up. Still, even with the selling of the past couple weeks, it's still around 39, $40 a share. It was up as high as 50. That is
Mm,
a monster run in the scope of just a couple months. The semis are due for some cooling. They've had
yeah,
a monster run. They're due for some of this digestion. So, that I think we're still in for some volatility regarding that pocket of the market.
couldn't agree more. Let's see next up.
PTN, is
Yeah,
that
Tyler. Tyler said, "Can we look at
Palatine?
Palatine?" I'm
Palatine. I thought it was. Whoa, what's going on with this
I'm
chart?
so
Okay,
used to Palantir that I just default to Palantir, but no, Palatine. Now my
PTN.
chart's only showing what, 2 trading days, Blaine. So
Yeah, this. I'm not. I
I
mean, I have it going all the way back, but I'm a little confused as to what's going on with this chart. I mean, it was.
I don't know.
Uh, yeah, that one.
Let's go ahead and skip this one because I can't even see it right now.
Yeah, that one, really low price stock though. It's only about $10 a share. The chart has been straight down for the past year, so I'd have to do some more research on that one. But just
Yeah,
on the nose of it, I would say very bearish. Excuse me.
very okay. And Tyler, feel free to put a different stock symbol in there. We'll jump into that one. I apologize. We just can't see it right now. Okay, let's see. User 182. Have you guys seen
XBI.
XBI? It's a biotech ETF looking pretty bullish. Yeah, we do keep an eye on the ETFs, the sector ETFs.
We
Wow.
have. This has been on our radar a lot in the last couple of weeks. Both this and I'll raise you too, IBV, another similar sector ETF. Both are just looking absolutely fantastic right now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I like it. I like it.
Yep. Yeah, big fan of the XBI and IBB right now.
Very bullish. Very bullish. Next up, guys, let's see. Dorian asked about TJX. So TJ Maxx, Maxinista. Yeah, this one has been our radar. We've actually been talking about this one a little bit because it has been breaking out to new 52-week highs. It's on a confirmed bullish trend. It has been a little choppy though, which makes it a little tough for directional swings because that choppiness is just a little challenging with the directional. But I really do like the trend. It's clearly on a buy signal. I would consider entering a position at this point.
Yeah, I really like the chart for TJX here. The broader space, discretionary sector, there's a lot of stocks in there that are under significant pressure, but there's a lot of, kind of bifurcation in that sector too. TJX, very unique player,
Yeah.
obviously kind of wholesaling, stuff they buy from other retailers. So very unique business, but, their chart is probably one of the best ones, best looking ones in that sector. I'm pretty bullish on TJX right here.
Totally agree. And hey, guys, we are doing our best to keep up with all of your stocks. Clearly, we're a little bit behind. We're going to try to ramp it up and get through more of your stocks. But thank you so much for the comments. Thank you so much for the engagement. We love getting to do this with you guys. If you're enjoying this, give us a like, give us a follow. We try to do these as much as we can during the week. But next up is AAL, and then we're going to go into NBIS. So AAL is from
Perfect.
Wolf. One, thank you for the comment. And oh, interesting. Okay, it's been a minute since I looked at AAL, and they've been just like choppily trading higher. They finally just got onto a confirmed bullish trend and buy signal about a month ago when it started trading above those key moving averages, and it looks like it's just chopping higher.
Very
Yeah,
slow, very slow grind higher on this one.
yeah,
It's definitely not a huge momentum breakout. It's not, getting a ton of just, overnight institutional support or anything like that. But it's on that kind of slow grind higher. Obviously, it's well off the April lows, but hasn't gained a ton of ground.
yeah.
But I think there's probably in the airline space, there's probably some other ones I would consider to trading first before this one. I think some of the charts look a little bit more compelling, but I mean, it does seem like it's trying to get constructive here.
Totally agree. Let's see. Next up, we had, oh goodness, you guys are just throwing them at us. NBIS. Okay, Blane, we're gonna keep our thoughts to maybe like two sentences if we can, because
Yep.
we're so far behind. Um, Huge bearish swing. I'm staying away.
Yeah, new multi-month lows right here. Very bearish on this one.
Okay, Million Hands asked about MAXSF. Wow.
What's the ticker again, Helaine?
AXXF. I don't know anything about the company, but that is a huge correction down. Oh, it's because it's trading below $1. It's a very cheap stock. Ugh. It could go bullish from here, but that volatility is insane.
I'd be staying away. Way too small market cap. Trend reversal. Very volatile. I'd be staying away from this one personally.
Totally agree. Did we do PayPal?
No, see, we have both SMCI and PayPal.
MSCI, which we already talked about SMCI. If you joined before, we're both bearish on SMCI.
Yes, yeah, very bearish on that one. Let's do PayPal though. Let's take a look at this one. Oh, another, not just kind of falling off a cliff, but just a slow grind lower. I'm pretty bearish on this chart right here.
I'm bearish too. In terms of payment processors, I love AXP.
Yep.
Okay, guys, let's see. We are trying to run through these. Thank you so much for all the comments. We love this.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Everybody in Zoom, everybody on TikTok, thank you all so much. Getting a ton of great engagement here. Helaine, what's the next ticker here?
TARK. It's an ETF.
TARK, have not seen it. So it's an innovation ETF, 2x leverage here. Looks like a pretty big unwind in that one right there. It was a lot, good momentum for the past, 7-8 months, but that's really unwound in the last month. And trading now, it's new multi-month lows. I would be staying away.
Couldn't agree more. I'm not touching it. Huge swing down. Would want to see resumption of a bull trend or signs of change in trend to trade it. Tony Montana asked about QQQ.
QQQ, obviously big down day today. It's down, near lows of the session, down about 2%. Trend is not completely broken down. It's just a lot of noise on the charts. Obviously, a lot of heavy weighted tech stocks here. They're getting a lot of rotation out of them. So, understandably, the tech heavy ETF is going to be showing a lot of noise on the chart. So, I would, if I were be looking to play this one right now, probably not from a directional call perspective, probably from a call debit spread, in the money call debit spread, to capitalize on some of that elevated volatility, higher premium, something like that. But I would be watching the technicals on this one right here because it's approaching some support levels again. It might be in for a test of that 50-day moving average again.
Guys, thank you so much. We see the comments just flooding in. Thank you so much. We are going through your stock picks as quickly as we can. Next up, I saw was HIMS. And HIMS was from
continuing to move down lower here. We've been bearish. We've been saying for weeks, Helaine, we've been really bearish on HIMS. Down another 6% today. Bert, love the comment. Welcome in, Bert. I hadn't seen you here yet, but yeah, welcome in.
Hey, Bert. Okay, let's see.
Bert, your emoji looks a whole lot like the chart of HIMS right now.
Yeah, Okay, there were some comments on PTN. Bro, how do you analyze this? It's two candles. Exactly. That's what I said. Blaine was like at stockcharts.com, which has more candles, unlike Thinkorswim, that just had two. And PTN did a 50 for one reverse stock split while delisted and got relisted yesterday. Oh, interesting. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
that would be enough right there for me to stay away and look for other opportunities. Thanks for the context.
Next up is Beatstein0000 NUKZ. Oops.
NUKZ,
NUK.
Nuclear Renaissance ETF. Okay.
Okay. This whole sector has been seeing a lot of pressure down. I am staying away from the sector at the moment. Although I do like that it's seeing support around that 65 level.
Yep, totally agree.
Okay. Okay. Going back because you guys are throwing at us. Emerald Clips. Thoughts on JD?
JD, all right. Big Chinese e-commerce play right here. Um, Man, this one was trying to get constructive and bounce, in September. It failed around 37, has traded back down again now. It looks pretty bearish, but I will say it has a very clear floor of support under it, right around where it's trading right now, about between $30 and 50 cents and 31. So it'd be important to see that hold, but if it breaks below that level, we could be in for some new 52-week lows.
Couldn't agree more, Blaine. Next up, we had, oh shoot, you guys just keep throwing them at us. Corbin asked about ELF. We looked at this one the other day.
We
Blaine and I
did.
really aren't trading stocks that are overbought or oversold in either direction. Of course, this one clearly had earnings, fell through the floor. Right now, that huge move, it's a falling knife. I'm not going to try to guess the bottom. I don't want my hand chopped off, so I'm saying
Yep.
no.
Yep. Fallen knife, staying away.
Next up is we had some, let's see. Wait, Apple, Oracle, and VVE. So first up, Apple. That's from So EP.
All
So
right. Apple, love the trend here. This obviously, the
love.
mega caps have been under a lot of pressure, but it's been all the mega caps that are playing in the AI narrative. That was a big knock on Apple earlier this year, was that they don't have an AI play. They don't have an AI story. So they were, getting hit by the market. Well, now that the market's becoming more discerning and, more skeptical of some of the AI valuations, Apple's sitting back and saying, "Hey, look at this new iPhone we came out with." So their trend looks absolutely incredible. This is one we've been really bullish on for a while. I still love the trend for Apple here.
Same here, couldn't agree more. Next up, it's just me. Nobody asked about Oracle. Oracle. Wow, what a decline there. Clear bearish trend. I would probably wait for it to bounce into the counter channels and then look for a bearish entry opportunity for them personally.
Yeah, if this is not one of the like poster children of the current pressure that the AI contingent in the market is under right now, I mean, we remember how crazy that 40% gap up was in Oracle several months ago. We were like, that is insane to see a stock this big move up 40% in one day.
Exactly.
Almost immediately gave back the whole thing in the past couple months. It's erased that entire move, and now it's actually down. The day prior to that move, it's now actually down. If you go back to that date, erase the entire thing and more. Massive downtrend here for Oracle, complete trend reversal. Very bearish on this one. It's oversold right now, so you might get a bit of a oversold bounce, but very bearish.
Okay, Blaine, we're gonna speed it up again. Next
Let's
up,
do it.
Honey Buck asked about NVVE. Let
What's the
me
ticker, Helaine?
NVVE. This is a stock that's currently trading at around, what is it, 40 cents?
Yep.
Typically, we're not trading stocks that are this low in price. Typically, we're trading ones above $15. Let me just zoom in on the trend. It clearly broke out today. I don't know why. I don't know anything about the stock. I really don't.
It's a $10 million market cap in penny stock. So just it's very hard to do technical trend analysis on stocks like this because they can be manipulated very easily. So we typically just stay far away from stocks like this. Not to say that people haven't made money or can't, and there's strategies for penny stocks like this, but it's kind of not the game we play in the market. It's really not our strong suit. So I
Yep.
would be looking for other opportunities.
Next up, Ozzy Kamara asked about gold.
Okay. Do we want to look at the GLD, or are we
Yep.
looking at spot price of gold? Maybe just GLD is
Look
easier.
at GLD. I like looking at GLD. Okay,
Okay.
Resuming that previous bull trend. I like the move.
Interesting.
A little bit overheated right now, a little extended, but I would consider a trade for them. I probably
Yeah, we got the dip in gold, and man, people bought it. That's interesting. I hadn't seen the swing up in gold over the last couple of days. I thought it was still moving down. I actually hadn't seen that. That's actually really encouraging, seeing it start to recover.
but I'd wait for a pullback within the Keltner channels before looking for an entry personally, so it's not overbought. Next up, Classic 5.3 is asking about CMG, which
EMG breaks my heart. Love the burritos, love the bowls. Don't love the chart though.
I don't love the trend. I'd be staying away.
Yep, yeah, this one looks like a classic series of lower lows, lower highs. It's, just making consistent new 52-week lows. Could trade it to the downside, if it gets back into the, not being oversold on the charts, could play with a, put spread or something like that, or put purchase to the downside is probably what I would actually look at, but very bearish on that trend.
Totally agree. Wolf Ghost 1 it said BJ's is looking good. Okay, BJ's is like a Costco for you guys that don't know. My small town in New Jersey had one when I was growing up. And yeah, interesting. They've been on a bearish decline, confirmed bearish trend since back in May. But this recent movement's interesting. It looks like maybe they could be trying to bottom out in a reverse trend, but I would need at least a week or two, probably more of bars to confirm that.
Yeah, to see, it actually try and build a base here and start to, flip bullish. I'd like to see it get up to about that 99, 100 level, something like that, kind of break through there just to confirm.
Yeah,
It looks like, I agree. It looks like it could be trying to get constructive here and put a bottom in, but still nothing definitive on the charts. I'm still, pretty bearish to neutral on this one.
agreed. It's just me. Nobody said what time interval is this? This is the daily chart. Tyler asked about CCJ Kimiko. Okay, this
Oh, this one's probably getting,
might have been
yeah, a lot of pressure on this one right here too.
yeah, a lot of pressure. Wouldn't be looking to enter today. The trend hasn't broken down completely, but it's not looking great right now.
Yeah, it's in that nuclear cohort of stocks that are all just encountering a ton of selling pressure in the markets right now. That's indicated by the price action. Of course, we see the OBV line here on my chart sloping sharply down over the past month. I would be probably be standing on the sidelines with this one right here. It's had a great year thus far, but it's starting to give some of that move back, it looks like.
Okay, next up, Josh said AMD, and I still like AMD setup, even with the pullback today. I'm bullish on AMD.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of noise on the charts over the past week. Still bullish. With regarding a new position that would like to see an up day, confirming that move higher again.
Okay, Dorian said, guys, SPY broke down, currently at 583-ish. Do we think it's going to head to 571?
Maybe 671 because
Uh,
it's at 672 right now. Just might have been a typo in there, but yeah, I mean it's near the lows of the day. When we started the call, Helaine, the S&P was down about 1%.
yeah.
It's dropped another 0.5% since then, so it's continued to drift lower. Again, I think that we're probably due for another retest of that 50-day moving average. We went and tested it, had a successful test on Friday, but we're clearly still seeing a lot of risk off, profit taking. There's things that are causing some skepticism in the market for investors who are seeing a bit of a risk off move. I think we're probably due to go down and retest some of those support levels once again. So yeah, I think we probably could go down. I don't know where we're going to finish for today. We could have a reversal and obviously have another trading day tomorrow, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Blaine. Hey guys, thank you so much for all these comments. If you've been enjoying this so far, go ahead and give us a like, give us a follow. I try to post on my profile when we're going to go live. So if you guys want to join in the future, we try to do Monday through Thursday at 9:45, 9:30, 9:45 each day. So make sure to give me a follow if you want to join in. We have a ton of more stocks and we just don't have enough time to get to all of them. So I
Bert,
think
I see your comment here. I see you said 6.7. I guess that's your opinion on the SPY right now. I don't know if I'm cool enough to say 6.7, but I learned about it from the kids. So
but as I was saying, we're gonna try to just do like two more, and then we do have to hop off. I apologize, guys, but we absolutely love getting to do this with you live. It's so much fun for us. Love getting to engage with you all, and love getting to look at your picks and see what your thoughts are. So we absolutely are so appreciative of all of this and of your time. So Blane, I'll pick one, and you pick one, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah,
So
let's do it. You go
and
ahead, pick one.
see. I'm gonna look at. Gosh, you guys have really thrown so many at us that I'm just trying to see.
I'm going to make a suggestion here, Helaine. I think two great ones to look at if
Let's
you're struggling. One would be Lilly, so Eli Lilly, and then
I like it.
I'm going to do ACHR.
Okay, cool. So LY, Eli Lilly, one of these healthcare names that's just absolutely taking off, absolutely red hot, finally broke out of really quite choppy year. And as you saw, it bottomed in August and has been making substantial moves higher. This recent run is absolutely insane. It's red hot, overheated. It's probably due for a pullback in the short term. I personally would look to enter into a position when it's trading below 980, ideally closer to 905, where that middle Keltner channel is. And it's so expensive that I would probably do a spread on that position, a call option debit spread in the money, give me downside protection.
Yeah, it's $1,000 stock. Totally agree. But if you look back, it's had a monster move over the last couple months, coming off those August lows. I mean, it's gained between 50-60% just in that time frame. So you certainly expect it's super overbought right now. Would
Yeah.
anticipate to give some of that back, probably give you a little bit better entry point. This has just been one of those massive recipients of all this market rotation we've been seeing, in the past couple of weeks. So love the breakout right here. Very clear momentum move right here for Eli Lilly. Could have some more upside from here, just in the current move before it gives some of that back. But have this one on the buy list, probably waiting for a little bit better opportunity, like you said, Helaine. Next one, this is the last one right here, Archer Aviation, ACHR. What are we thinking here, Helaine? I think this one is probably headed lower. This is in that contingent of momentum stocks.
Yep.
Unprofitable momentum, doesn't have really much else to fall back on other than the momentum. That was just it's going to keep trading higher as long as it keeps trading higher. But the trend is your friend until the bend at the end, and this one found the bend several times this year. So looks like it's headed lower.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, new multi-month lows. The trading here, it looks like it's set for a new multi-month low close today. I definitely anticipate this one, to keep getting some selling pressure as long as the market is being very critical of these unprofitable momentum names.
Couldn't agree more. And hey, guys, if you are just joining in or if we missed your stock today, I am so sorry, but the good news is that we'll probably be live here again tomorrow. If I had to guess, maybe around 9:45 for at least a bit. So definitely go ahead, give me a follow so that you can see when we're going to be live next. I make sure to schedule it out so you guys can all see. But I really, really appreciate you guys all joining today. I hope you enjoyed this as much as we do. If you did, give us a like, give us a follow. We're going to try to do these as much as we can because this is so much fun for us. We love going back and forth. We love having these conversations with you all about what's going on in the market. So thank you so much, both on Zoom and on TikTok. So thank you guys so much. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Totally agree. I thank you both, everybody, Zoom, TikTok. Love having you all here in the room with us. And again, thank you so much for all the engagement and comments. Love getting to go back and forth with you. Love all the different ticker ideas. Love getting to love, really love seeing all these, just wide variety of stocks. A lot of these charts, kind of never really land on our radar. It's really important to see what's happening on some of these. So I love all the interaction. Thanks so much for being here. Like Helaine said, we'll probably be back live here sometime tomorrow. At least on TikTok for sure. Maybe not on Zoom, but I know our next Zoom TOD live session will be on Tuesday. So definitely, if you love this session, make sure to be back here on Tuesday for TOD live. If you're on TikTok, we'll probably be back live tomorrow. But again, thanks so much. Thanks for being here. Love to have you back in the room here in the future. But until then, hope you have a great rest of your week and weekend. And happy trading, folks.
Okay. See you guys.
See you, everybody.